Afternoon, Tiny Truckers. Welcome back to True North headquarters and another episode of Garage Talk with myself and Adam Moffat here.
Hey guys!
We're going to do this episode on a couple of trucks that we have a lot of fun driving. They were both purchased as a RC4WD Marlin, and as you can see sitting on the table here, they look nothing like an RC4WD Marlin. Let's start with this little beast here. I've seen this thing trailing all over the place.
Yeah, so like Chad said, we got two Marlins here. Mine is a Marlin chassis with a Marlin body. Chad's is a little different. He'll talk about that shortly. But ultimately what I kind of wanted to do was I really wanted to build a leaf truck that I could run in comps, or I could just, it was kind of my trail dominating truck. So with much hesitation, I went out and scooped up a Marlin, and after I scooped up the Marlin kit, I went, holy smokes, this is going to be a fun kit. So essentially what I did with my truck is, it's a standard Marlin body. I did the typical comp cut on the doors. I think everybody kind of does that. Nothing special there, and you put your Nerf bars in.
But they're clean. Clean.
Very clean looking. Yeah, I trimmed them all out, so I made sure to do all the body trim and everything so that the door panel itself extends into the cab.
What did you use for your Nerf bars?
The Nerf bars is just some styrene tubing, and then I took some heat shrink and just wrapped the heat shrink around it, shrunk it down, and a couple of zip ties to simulate kind of that Nerf bar.
Yeah, that looks cool.
I did a similar cut on the tailgate as well. I just did that kind of comp cut. I don't know, it was just something different and something I wanted to do. Yeah, it's been through a couple of battles, so we've got a broken piece of plastic there. The other things I did with this truck is I really wanted to do a bit more of a scale build, so I did do a full-on engine bay on this one.
Yes.
And it's just using the SSD engine cover, and then we 3D printed all the headers and the fun stuff, the radiator cover. I did some rad hoses. The distributor's wired in the block as well. Yeah, and then the hood itself, so I can't remember, but somewhere online I ordered a hood kit, and it included the upper panel and some of the brackets and so forth to actually construct a working hood. And I put it all together, and I thought it looks cool, but I really wanted kind of that rugged look. Yeah. So I actually took off the inner liner or the hood panel, whatever you want to call it, extended it, widened it, made it actually fit in there. So it doesn't open and close right now, but it gives kind of that simulated, I don't know, it's just a bit more of a rough look to it. Raised up the arches in the front and back wheel wells just to give a bit more clearance on it. And then kind of went to town on everything else. So this truck has a lot of parts from A&M Garage. Always been happy with my A&M parts, but I've got the A&M Garage front bumper, and it has the incorporated reverse shackle kit. So the reverse shackles are built into the front bumper on this truck.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so you get more of that true scale leaf spring setup. I got the A&M Garage rear bumper as well, and then the A&M Garage metal sliders on it. I'll tell you, all that weight, I was a bit nervous, but it really handles the weight well. It helps to plant it down. The weight's nice and low. Yeah. The other thing we did with this truck is it's got the GCM LRT2 transmission in it. So really wanted
everything.
LRT the world. Really wanted an LRT in this, just simply for the fact that I wanted the overdrive up front.
Yep.
Also wanted that scalability and kind of that look to it. So it's been a fun truck. It's got the I think it's the RC four-wheel drive interior I purchased. Did a little bit of painting, put a driver in there. We also got the GCM 1.9-inch black rims.
I was going to ask you what wheels those are.
I can't remember what the rim is, but maybe Chris or Dana will pipe up in the comments. And then it's got the factory Marlin tires stretched over the 1.9 rim. I'm a huge fan of the factory Marlin tires. What are they, mudslingers or
super swampers?
Super swampers. Yeah. I run them on multiple trucks. I love the tire. I love the grip of the tire, the look of the tire, and and then we did a few more scale things. We got a light bar that functions, SSD fuel tank in the back because you got to have fuel, I guess, right? Spare tire with the spare tire carrier, and then the Marlin Roll Bar. And the only thing I did with the Marlin Roll Bar is it's supposed to be like a double Nerf bar. I cut one of them out so I could fit the spare tire in there.
I like the curved light bar. That looks good on that.
Yeah, curved light bar looks really well. It's kind of bent down, but like I said, all in, it's been a fun truck. We've trailed this truck everywhere from I think it's been to Berkeley. It's been to Elora Gorge,
Rockwood.
Rockwood. It took a nasty tumble at Elora down about a 12-foot drop one day, and I thought it might have killed it, but it stayed together. So I love it. You know what? It's just a fun trailing truck, and it's really cool to have a leaf sprung truck that performs well. It's been broken in, about a year and a half on it now, so the suspension flexes really well, and yeah, it's been a great truck. But so I built mine kind of more comp based, comp purposed, and then Chad here has a little bit of a more detailed truck, I'll say, and you got a few add-ons that get pulled around behind it. So
well, this truck started out as a Marlin. I picked it up at Parish Junction Hobbies. Again, we're going to do another video down the road on basically the two hobby shops we deal with, Parish Junction Hobbies and 110 Hobbies. So keep your eyes open for those, because they're both amazing shops. I purchased it, and I took the Marlin body at first and I painted it a really nice color. And then I realized it wasn't a Hilux body, it was the Marlin body. So I ended up trading it to a good friend of ours, Richard, for a brand new Hilux body, and gave it to one of our best friends, Shiny Shane. And he gave it this amazing blue paint job. Well, not so amazing anymore, but when I got it, if you were at the G6 where I debuted this truck with the canoe trailer, it was a beautiful paint. But
very shiny.
I love how this truck drove.
Yeah.
So I drove it to hell and back. I mean, you can see how this thing, it just, the movement on it, the flexibility on it now, because it's so broken.
And it's still a Marlin, it's still leaf sprung.
Yeah. The only thing I've done to this truck is, again, I put the LRT transmission in it. The overdrive in it, the smoothness of those transmissions, it changes how your truck drives. So they're fantastic. I mean, I think I've got them in almost all of my trucks now.
Yeah.
Getting there, even in my semi truck, I've put the GCM conversion kit in there. So what I'm not much of a weatherer. I've enjoyed how this one's turned out. I've learned some techniques from friends like Adam and Kyle Joseph. So as the truck got beat up, I added a little rust, a little detail, a little Dremel work. But what it was designed for was originally to pull the canoe trailer. As you can see, the decals on the side for canoe rentals, but it trails amazing. So I've taken this truck, actually I think we were at a TTC in Brantford,
Yes.
Shane and I, you were there too as well.
I was there.
And Shane was driving a very similar truck, and we were out trailing a lot of guys with 2.2s. The low center of gravity. I'm running very stock Boom Racing wheels and tires on here that a good friend of ours, Chris, gave me. And then, I mean, we can get into the details if you want. So the tinner itself, I worked with a really good friend of ours, Terry, from Bell City Crawlers. He's a boat builder himself, like the one-to-one boats. So I worked with him on that. Countless hours in design trying to get it. Then I added the details. Eventually it's going to be a working model. We're going to put, as you can see in the back of the truck, there's a 1 to 10 scale outboard.
Yep, fully functioning, right?
Fully functional. So we're going to actually put that on the boat, and we're going to make this RC. So eventually this will be a working scale item. I've used the RC4 drive stock interior. It's fantastic. I mean, they've got great little metal trim that you can accent, paint different colors. Again, I added a dog. I always add a dog.
And one thing you can't see on the camera is, though, you've got like a leather stitched baseball material wrapping the seats, which gives it that work truck feel to it, right?
Right.
It's really nice.
I mean, we all had work trucks.
Yep.
And what's the first thing I do in my real work truck is I put a seat cover on it so I don't wreck my truck. I cannot believe I haven't wrecked this truck. This thing, it has impressed me more than most trucks I've driven. Certainly any other truck from RC4 drive, because I mean, we all know how much they fall apart on us on the trails.
Yep.
This one has done fantastic. Team Marlin, I believe, worked with RC4 drive to help create this more robust chassis, I guess, because it comes with the super soft leaf springs. Mm-hmm. And I think it comes with a couple other additions as well.
Some more metal underneath it.
Yeah. And then what I did to the body itself is I decided to cut the tailgate open. It's something a little different, right? Everybody's got the closed-in tailgates. The only problem with the Hilux body is your bed and your rear roll pan don't match up height-wise. So I had to rebuild the rear roll pan to actually make it fit and get rid of that gap. The tailgate is not functioning. I've got it glued in place just to make it easier, right?
Just so everybody is aware, it's never broken off in any kind of comp or trailing environment, and it definitely has only ever been glued in once, right, Chad?
I plead the fifth. It's probably come off a couple of times, to be honest with you, but I mean, shoe glue is a wonderful thing. It's all our best friends, that and zip ties, right?
Yeah, and it suits the truck. You got to have an opening tailgate on it.
We've added our 3D printed accessories, right? I did a fuel can for the outboard.
Yep.
We've got our laser engraved badges on it, our custom cut decals that we did.
Yep.
All I did to the boat to make it look this way is I took aluminum foil tape and I put it over top of the fiberglass body that Terry had helped me do. And then I gave it a good matte clear coat. I mean, matte clear coat is your friend on a lot of things.
Absolutely.
And then did some custom cut decals and then, did the transom and everything on it. But again, I absolutely love driving this truck. I'm going to be taking it to our next competition and driving it again. I just had it up at, we were up at Chris Anderson's place.
Yep. Thessalon, just short of Sault Ste. Marie.
Yep, and I got the opportunity to trail this at Bridal Veil Falls,
Right.
which is, if you ever get the opportunity to go there, go there. It is one of the most fantastic places I've been able to trail, and I had some fun. I mean, I broke a drive shaft, but thankfully to GCM, 3 days later, there's one at my door because their shipping is so much faster than mine.
And I think that's the fun thing with the Marlins, right? Is like I have several TF2s, and they don't trail the same as the Marlin kit. They never have, and it just feels like it's better.
It's the constant wrenching
Yeah,
on the TF2s. Like
absolutely.
Constantly, it's like a real truck. I mean, I'll give that to RC four-wheel drive. It's very much a scale truck because you have to
Brakes, you
constantly
gotta fix it.
tighten bolts and make sure your wheels aren't falling off. And
I think the big thing with the TF2 or the Marlin kit, whatever you get from RC4WD Drive, is it's RTR, it comes out of the box assembled, but you do need to take the time to back the screws out. You do need to put the thread locker on. You do need to make sure everything is set properly, and you'll have a more enjoyable experience with your truck if you take a couple of hours when you get it, disassemble, put everything back together, make sure you use your Loctite, because we all know that the RC4WD Drive kits, they tend to not be your friend, screws back out.
Yep.
So take the time to do it.
put together on a Friday.
Right, exactly. Friday of a long weekend at
Yeah.
3 o'clock, and the guy doesn't want to be there. But if you take the time, like I said, you'll have a much more enjoyable truck. You'll have a much more enjoyable time. And I don't know, these are probably two of our favorite trucks to drive.
Certainly, I mean, when I look around on the rack where the trucks are now, this is certainly the oldest truck I have, and this is probably, I mean, everything's for sale, right? Everything has a price. There's always somebody that wants to offer you that undeniable cash price for a truck. This honestly is one I would never sell.
Yeah.
This one will
Just
stay
a
in
fun
my
truck.
collection forever. I learned a lot building this truck. I've had many laughs driving this truck, and it's still going to be trailed as long as I'm trailing. I mean, the last event that I had it at was actually the Warsaw Caves event, the
Yep.
DCM Adventure Series. I was number 9.
It was a fun event.
A lot of fun. But if you guys ever want to purchase a truck to drive and to learn a lot on, the Marlin is a fantastic leaf sprung truck. And I mean, you can see like, this thing just flops around now. It's so worked in. I can't believe I haven't broken any leaves on it.
They're a fun truck. I think I forgot to show the coolest part about this truck that I really enjoy is my battery mount. So I hate taking beds off, bodies off. I hate using screws. So me and Chad kind of sat around and we tried to figure out how can I get a battery up under the cab of this. And what we came up with was a combination magnet and hinge mount. So my whole bed actually pops off. My battery slides under the cab. It connects under the cab. My on-off switch is there. And then the bed slides back on, kind of pressure fits. And we've got magnets up underneath it as well. And it's not coming off. So
I mean,
voila.
You can certainly tell we don't wash these trucks.
No, they don't get washed. Absolutely not.
As you can see how easy that is, I'll show you how much of a pain in the butt this is. So we take the screws out of the bodies to begin with, and we just put pins in there. But still, for me to take that body off, it's a pain in the butt.
It is, especially when the rig's wet, dirty, muddy, and you got to plug all your electrical back in for
Yeah.
your lights each time. So we're always kind of looking for ways to mount our batteries. Well, I would say more now than ever because, a lot of the trucks we build, you don't want to be taking the screws on and off the body all the time. You don't want to be unplugging the lights. So I think as we continue with our builds here, that's kind of one of the first things we try to build around now is battery placement. Where can we put the battery so that it's a good center of gravity?
We're just
easy
lazy.
to change out.
We're
Yeah,
lazy.
we're getting old and cranky and just don't like doing that. So that's what we got for you this week, guys. Like we said, they're a blast. If you got a Marlin, you got some pictures or whatnot, post them up for us. Tag them in on Facebook so we can have a look at them. Maybe we can get a Marlin run coming up soon at some point and Yeah.
We'd love to see pictures of your Marlins.
Absolutely.
Please feel free to send them to us and tell us about your builds.
Yeah.
Who knows? We might be so blown away by it that you might see your own truck on this channel soon.
Yeah. So find us on Facebook, True North RC, and tag us. Otherwise, sir, any last words?
Keep the rubber side down.
Cheers, guys.